see if we're in tune. Give me your A string.
A string.
E string. D string. G string. B string. And hi. There we go. I had it tuned down half step.
It seems like every other time I come to play it now, it's like it's almost down force down, like it's either up or down notes.
A ride in the car will do it sometimes.
Oh, really?
It's just the temperature difference outside and all, it will change, will detune them ever so slightly.
So it'll make the strings loosen up.
It depends on the weather. Okay, so here's a way to also, what I do when I'm done tuning, I double check. So here's A, and here's A. And I make sure they both sound the same. So do, there you go. Get your second fret on the G string, that's A, second fret on the G string. There you go. And play your fifth string at the same time, like this. See what I'm doing here? I'm pinching both strings. I'm using my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm just pinching the two strings. So you're playing the wrong string with your index finger. There you go. And I listen, see if they sound right, then I know that it's in tune. Then there's another A up here, the fifth fret of the high E string with my pinky, fifth fret. That's not the fifth fret, but it's close. That's not the first string. There we go. And I play again the second fret of the G string. Bit of a stretch, but they have to sound alike. Your pinky's not quite in the space of the fifth fret. Nope, wrong way. There you go. See, pinch the two now. Now you're pinching the wrong strings. Now you want to pinch your high E and your G string. Your G string.
G string.
You're not pinching the G string.
Right, good.
There you go. Yeah. Second fret of that one. Second fret of the G string. There you go. And then your pinky again on the fifth fret of the first string. There you go. Those two notes. See these two? Those are both. Okay, so that's why I check. And then I go a C on my A string, which is the third fret of my A string.
C on your A string?
Yep, third fret of the A string.
Third fret of the A string.
And my first fret on my B string, which is C. And I make sure they sound alike. I pinch them together.
You said which one? This one?
This one and this one.
The third one and the first one?
Yep.
Okay.
Now where our fingers are, on the fifth string and on the second string. String number 5 and string number 2. Yeah, there you go.
2, 5.
Yeah, and your fingers, there you go, that's right. Those two notes are C. So if they sound good, good. And then I check my open G against my low G's on the low E string, which is the third fret.
Third fret.
And I see if they sound alike. G string. Yeah, okay, good. And that's the way you double check. And sometimes I'll go higher up here. Okay. This is called getting to know the fretboard. This is why I've encouraged you to manual tune occasionally. You have a tuner, right?
Yeah, I just used to one on my phone. Well,
Yeah.
every now and then, like you said, I try to do it that way.
I'd like you to do it every day.
Do it every day?
Get
Okay.
used to the way it sounds, but manually, not with the tuner, but without the tuner.
Okay.
Get one of the strings in tune. Use your tuner to get like the E string in tune, okay? Now what do you do? After you've turned off your tuner, now what do you do?
And then you just hold down, I think this one's the fifth fret on the E string, on the sixth string.
Okay.
And then you just sound it out like that. And then you go to the second part, which is the D string. Well, that should be, this one should sound like the A string, right?
That's right.
Okay, so this sounds like the A
do
string.
that. Go ahead and do that. move on down.
So now I go to the D string,
Mm-hmm.
which is
And do the same thing. Oh, too far. Gonna go to the 5th fret on the A string. That's D, so that should sound like the D string. It does. So let's move to the 5th fret on the D string. And that's G. So it should sound like G string. Okay, good. Now we change a little bit. We go to the 4th fret on the G string. Oops. No, you were on the right string. You just haven't plucked the right string. There you go. That should sound like the B string. Okay, now go back to the 5th fret on the B string. Wrong fret. And that's E. Okay. This is how we manually tune. I want you to do this every day because it trains the ear and it gets you familiar with your fretboard. You have to know where the notes on the fretboard are. You've got to learn that, okay? So you know what the names of the open strings, right? So if this is E, what's the next note after E?
A, D,
What comes after E?
A.
A, B, C, D, E.
I was thinking in the mindset of chord, like notes.
Next note, not next string. There they are in order. So this is an open book test. What's the next note after E?
Okay, E, F.
That's right. There's no E sharp or F flat. There are 4 notes with no sharps or flats between them. It's E and F and B and C. Okay, so we go half a step or 1 fret to go to the next note above E, which is, again,
E.
what comes after E?
F.
Can you play it with me, please? 1st fret of the E string. Very good. What comes after F?
G.
That's right. Now we go a whole step because there is an F sharp or G flat. A whole step is 2 frets.
Okay.
So now we go to the 3rd fret. Please use your 3rd finger just for practice. Get used to using that. That's G. What comes after G musically?
Musically?
Yeah. Is there an H?
No.
No. So what do?
Repeat.
We start over. What comes after G?
A.
Okay, so we go a whole step from G, which is 2 frets up from G.
Up.
Yeah, up. No, that's down. Up. We're going up.
Oh,
That's A. Okay, because you just learned that was A when we did our tuning.
okay.
Okay, so let's do it all at once. E, F, G, A, with me. Again, you start over because you didn't start on E. Okay, E. Now you're on F.
Oh.
E, F. Say it with me.
E. Oh. E.
F, G, A.
A.
Okay, now next string is what?
A.
What comes after A?
B.
All right. It's a whole step away because there is an A sharp. The space between A and B is A sharp or B flat. So we go a whole step. How many frets is the whole step?
2.
That's right. So 2nd fret on the A string is what note?
A.
2nd fret on the A string is B. There is no B sharp. So it's only a half a step to the next note.
B7 is a minor?
We're not talking 7ths or
Oh,
minors.
okay.
We're just talking whole notes.
Whole notes.
B. What comes after B?
C.
How far is C from B?
1.
One what?
1 fret.
1 fret. There you go. Or a half a step
Half a step.
because there's no B sharp. All right. What comes after B? I mean after C?
E.
Hmm?
E.
Hmm?
E.
Excuse me? What comes after C?
C. D.
Thank you. How far is D from C? How far is D from C?
2 whole notes, right? 2 whole frets.
Two frets.
2 frets.
Let's not mix up our terms.
Okay.
It's 2 frets. It's 1 whole step. It's a whole
2 frets,
step.
1 whole step.
Okay. So from C to D, 2 frets or a whole step. Okay, let's do the A string. A, B. No.
Oh, wrong.
A. No, that's not B. A, B,
Okay. B.
C. Too far.
C.
D.
1 step down.
Nah.
Oh, 2 steps
There you
down.
go. No, 1 step, 2 frets.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to get the order right.
You'll get used to it. Well, this is why we're doing this, because this is something you have to learn. I don't expect you to know it, I expect you to learn it. Between B and C is a half a step. okay? Or 1 fret. Between A and B is a whole step, or 2 frets, okay? So when I do this, whole step. When I do this, half step. E and F is what?
Half step.
Half a step, or
1 fret.
that's right. C and D is
A whole step, or 2 frets.
That's right. F and G,
2 whole step frets.
2 what?
2 frets.
Thank you. Or
Or a whole step.
thank you. D and E,
Whole step. Or 2 frets.
I don't want you to confuse the terminology. We don't want to say 2 whole frets, because then we're going to confuse it with 1 whole step.
Okay.
Only use the word whole when you're talking about a step.
Okay.
Okay. Between G and A is,
Whole step,
or
2 frets.
thank you. Between A and B is,
Whole step, or 2 frets.
thank you. So the only 4 notes with no sharps or flats are,
B, C, E, F.
that's right. So between A and B would be A sharp, and if you don't remember, that equals sharp. That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
And this little B, looks like a little B, equals what? Flat.
Flat.
They're the same thing. B flat and A sharp are the same note. They're played in the same place. They're called what they're called depending on what key the music is written in. So that space, would you play A sharp for me now? Play A sharp.
A sharp.
Yes.
Where's A sharp?
Where's your A string? Where's A? First play A, please. Okay, go. How far do you have to go to get A sharp?
1 whole 2 frets.
How far do you have to go to get to B, first
Oh.
of all? How far to get to B?
1 whole step,
Or,
2 frets.
so where's B?
So B will be here.
Okay, good. So what's the one between A and B?
This is
You're on the wrong direction.
C.
You skipped a fret to get to B. What note did you
A.
skip? There you go. What is that?
A sharp,
Very good. Or,
or a half, or B flat.
that's right, or B flat. Okay, so you're starting to get the concept?
Yeah.
Okay, so play E for me. Just E, the note. Now play E sharp. See, those are a trick question. Is there an E sharp?
There's no E sharp.
There is no E sharp. What's the next fret?
That's F.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay. Play G. Now play A, which is the next note, next whole note. No, on the G string,
Oh, on
play
the G
A.
string.
On the G string, play A. Awesome. Play A flat. Or what is that also called?
B flat.
Excuse me? No. It's A flat or
A sharp. Oh, A flat or
what's
G.
keep going. G.
G sharp.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. You're starting to get the idea. All right, so play on the B string,
On the B string.
play the note on the B string.
On the B. Okay.
Play the note C.
C.
If that's C, what note is the first fret on the B string?
Step for 1 fret. Okay, so I'm playing on the B string,
Play on the B string.
and you told me to play C.
Yes, I did. Where is that?
So would it be down here? Is it
What comes after B?
C?
Okay, so why would it be so far up from B? Play the open B, play open B. Okay, now you gotta play C, which is the next note.
This is the following.
Why are you
fret.
skipping so many frets to get to the very next note?
So
Do you see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. So
Okay.
it'll be down here.
Okay, accept that, again,
It's a
accept that,
half a step.
accept that. There's no B sharp.
Yeah.
You skipped a fret thinking that you were gonna go a whole step to get to C, but you skipped a fret. There is no B sharp, so therefore, how do you get to C from B? According to that.
You make a whole step.
Is that what that says? From B to C.
Oh, from B to C is half a step, or 1 fret.
Okay, so now play C for me, please, on the B string. Thank you very much. Okay, it'll take you a little bit, but see, now you get it? So it's the easy way to remember is it's these two strings, E, F, B, C. They're only half a step apart. There's no space, but no fret between them. E, F, B, C, E, F, B, C. See, they're both first fret. All right, but the rest have sharps and flats between them. So let's go from C to D. How do you go to, where's D on the B string?
Third.
On the B string, please.
Oh,
We're still on the B string. Play your C note.
This was
That's it. Now where's D? Thank you. Very good. How far did you go to get from C to D?
2 frets.
2 frets. But one, you used the word whole. You started to use the word whole for frets, and I'm trying to get you away from that. It's 1 whole
Step.
That's right. Play C again on the B string, please. Now go to D. How far did you go?
1 step.
Good. Or
2 frets.
thank you very much. That's the phraseology we're going to use a lot. As time goes on, I'm going to say, take that up a whole step, and you're going to know what that means right now. Or I might just say, take it up a fret, and you'll know what I mean when I say that. There's a difference between a step and a fret, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many frets is a step or a whole step?
2 frets.
That's right. How many frets is a half step?
1 fret.
Yeah, okay, good. Play the chord C. Play the C, that chord. Now, every chord has a root note, at least one, sometimes 2. This has 2 root notes. What note is your first finger playing right now? You just learned?
This B or no, C.
That's right. So there's a root note for that chord. You're also playing another C. Can you tell me where the other C is in that chord?
E, A. So it's B sharp. In A on the 5th string.
Yes, absolutely. There you go. So you're actually playing 2 root notes in that chord. So when I tell you, I'm going to make you think a little bit now. I want you to play another chord. It's a real simple move, and I'm going to describe it to you. First of all, it's called C major 7. Now to create a major 7, we take the root note and we just go flat half a step. We just drop it half a step. So take one of your root notes. In this case, I want you to take this root note, which is C, and I want to go flat, just a half a step. What do I have to do? You don't have to move you don't have to move the other 2 fingers. You got to do something with this guy to go flat half a step. When I say flat, that means lower half a step. Go back and put it back where it was on the root note. Put it back on your C, on the B string. You're on the wrong string.
Oh.
There you go. Now, how do you go flat half a step?
Move it down.
Well, get down musically.
Well, musically.
Which is, how do you do that? How are you going to
With
go
this?
down? With that note, that C note.
Bar.
How are you going to go flat? You just want to go flat, which is what? Flat is musically down. How do we go down lower than that half a step?
Shift the whole thing down.
It's a real easy thing. It's real easy just to go flat.
Lift your finger off.
There you go. Very good. Lift your finger off. You just created a note called C major 7 by flatting, going flat with one of the root notes. You went from C to B. You went flat, half a step. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Flat is going lower musically. Sharp is going higher musically.
So one less root note makes it less.
Just flat. The root note goes flat half a step to make what we call a major 7. And we'll get more into how to make these different chords, but that's C. And I just wanted to do that to get you to understand the concept of going flat. Okay. okay, with a half a step.
I'm gonna definitely go over this to remember.
Yeah, you're not gonna remember that right now, but you went flat half a step simply by going from C to B. You went flat half a step. And you created what we call a major seventh. Now, there's a difference between a major seventh and a dominant seventh, or what we just call seven. Like C7 would be something different, and we won't get into that. But mainly I just wanted you to understand the concept of going flat half a step. And in this case, it changes what chord you're playing so slightly. Yeah, so you went from C to major seven. Yeah, and it's a real common. Your major sevenths are very common. As you get to play more and more songs, you'll find that you'll be playing major sevenths a lot. Let's do it one more time. Play a D chord. Now, the three fingers on the three strings, just in those three notes, there's one root note, D. Where is the D in that chord? Where's the D? Which finger is playing the note D?
The fifth string. Not the fifth string, but the second string.
That's right, the second string. That's D. Now, the same concept, we changed C to C major 7 by making the root note flat, half a step. How would you change D to D major 7? Just want to make the root note flat, half a step. How would you do that? Well, you only want to go flat half a step, which is how many frets?
1.
Okay, so you go in the wrong direction. You want to go flat, not sharp. So instead of the third, there you go, exactly. Brilliant. You figured out the solution. That's it. That's D major 7. You just took that root note, you went flat, half a step. Very good. Kind of a pretty sound too, huh? There you go. And this is just in order for you to start grasping the concept of the root notes in a chord and then sharps and flats. Every major chord is what we call a triad. And there's 3 notes that make up the major chord. Go back to the D. The 3 notes that make up this triad are A, where your first finger is, D, where your third finger is, and F sharp, where your second finger is. Those are the 3 notes that make up the chord D, the triad, D major. And all of our major chords are triads. They're basically made up of 3 notes. When we were playing C, we had 2 C's, but we also had an E and we had a G. And those are the 3 notes in the chord C. Some chords you do have more than one root note being played somewhere. Like in the chord G, you actually have 3. You've got one here, and one here. 3 G's in this, but there's only 3 different notes in the triad. It'd be G, B, and D, and then the rest are repetitious. There's a B and there's a G. So that's something to put away up there. That all your major chords are triads, just made up of 3 notes, and then all the variations like the major 7s, the 7s, the minors, blah blah blah. We'll get into how you convert to those, and you're starting to understand. Sometimes it just takes 1 note to change a chord from C to C major 7, from D to D major 7, etc. With that in mind, you could figure out a lot of them. You could say, okay, this is how I play A. How would I create A major 7? I would take my root note and I would go flat half a step, and so on, etc. But it's really, really crucial that you get to know the notes on the neck, and we start with frets 1 through 5 on the 6 strings. Obviously, these 2 are the same because they're both E. And one of the ways we do it is by tuning. And we know everything on the 5th fret, right? By doing that, which should make the 4th and the 6th pretty easy. Because if this is A, then what's this?
A sharp. A flat.
That's right. And this is
A sharp.
That's right. So after you get real familiar with the 5th fret, 4, and 6, should be pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's A flat, A sharp. If it's A flat, it's also G, same note, G.
Oh, G, minor. I mean, G flat,
Nope.
G sharp.
That's right. It's the one between G and A. It'd be A flat or G sharp. They're the same note. A sharp
Mm-hmm.
is the same as what? What comes after A?
B
Good, keep going.
flat.
That's right. So now you know the 6th fret, you know the 4th fret, and I'm going to now share with you the little formula for knowing the 7th fret on every string. Play the 7th fret on the A string, please. 7th fret on the A string. Fret number 7. Your dots are make it easy. Yeah, your dots make it real easy. 3, 5, 7. Okay, the 7th fret on every string is the same note as the string above it. So what note is this?
Say that one more time.
The 7th fret is the same note as the string above it.
So it's A sharp.
What's the note? What's the string above it?
Oh, the string
The
above it.
string above it.
Oh, so that's E.
Yeah. So that's E. Now do the 7th fret on the D string, please. What note is that?
That's A.
Very good. 7th fret on the G string, please. What note is that?
It's G. Not G. D.
What?
D.
That's right. It changes on the B string because, as we
It
know,
goes up.
because the B string is tuned down. That's right. We have to go to the 8th fret. 8th fret
So you go down.
on the B string. On the B string. You're not on the B string. 8th fret on the B string. You're still not on the B string. There you go. What note is that? Same as the string above.
That's G.
That's right. Now we can go back to the 7th fret on the E string.
7th round. E string.
Wrong way. 7. Fret number 7. There you go. What note is that?
B.
That's right. Okay. So see how soon you're going to know all the notes, frets 1 through 7. And if you know 7, then 8 is what? If this is B, what's the half step above B?
B flat.
There is no B
No,
sharp. There's no B sharp. You were going to say B sharp, but it's no B sharp. What comes after B, half a step up,
Half a step up.
is
A flat.
half a step up musically.
Half a step up.
What comes after B?
A sharp.
What comes after B?
After B?
After B.
Oh, C.
That's right. 8th fret on the E string is C. Okay. However, the 8th fret on the A string is
On the A string
on the A string.
is A flat.
What is the 7th fret on the A string? Again, 7th fret on the A string, please. What note is the 7th fret on the A string? Same as the string above.
Oh, okay, E.
Okay, what's a half a step up? Up, not down, up. What's a half a step up from E?
Yeah.
Yay! Very good. You're starting to come together, isn't it? All right, so see what I'm saying? Is once you know where the notes are on one fret, the frets next to that,
Mm.
you know, are pretty...
I feel like the knowledge in my head right now is just inside its own compartment, and I can't really line them up like the alphabet and say them all together. If that makes sense. So
but it
I
will
access
come.
it in like
Yeah, it will come.
individually.
Now the 12th fret on every string is what note?
A repeat, right?
What is it? What's the 12th fret on every string?
It goes back to A.
I know what you're thinking, but you're not verbalizing it correctly. The 12th fret on every string is the same as,
The first.
what is it? What note is this on the E string? 12th fret. What note is that?
F.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say it for you so that you grasp it. The 12th fret on every string is the same note as the open string.
Oh, okay.
E, E, A, A, D, D, G, G, B, 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 E, E. Okay? It's the same note as the open string. So back to the idea that if you know what a particular fret is, the ones on either side of it are pretty simple. So if this is E, what's the next fret? Half a step up from E is?
Up musically?
Is. Yes, because we're starting over, so it'd be the same as the first fret. Okay? Now here's A. What's half a step up musically from A?
A sharp.
Very good, and so on. Okay? So with just a little bit of thought and going over it, you're going to know frets 1 to 7, even 8, and 11, 12, and 13. Pretty readily. So that just leaves a few frets in between that take a little thinking. And one way to think about it is if you know what the note that is, you know what a whole step before that note is. What's a whole step before E? What comes before E?
F.
No, before E.
Before E.
Before E.
A, B, C, D, D.
That's right. So the 10th fret on the E string's got to be D, because that's what comes before E. What comes before A?
A sharp.
Comes before A.
Before A. Oh, G.
That's right. So the 10th fret on the A string is G. What comes here's D. What comes before D?
C.
That's right. And so on.
Okay.
Yeah. So see, without too much effort, you can get to know where the notes are on the neck. But right now we focus on 1 through 5. We use the tuning method. So we get very, very, very intimate with fret number 5. I mean like this. If I ask you what the 5th fret on the D string is, you should be able to tell me instantly. 5th fret on the D string. 5th fret on the D string is what? Because in your tuning, you know to tune. 5th fret on the D string is what?
B.
I'm sorry?
B.
On the D string?
On the D string?
If we're tuning, and I'm playing the 5th fret on the D string, what is that going to sound like?
A. A.
Play the 5th fret on the D string, please. D string.
Oh, A.
Yeah. What is that? What? No.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Yeah. What does that sound like?
C.
What does that sound like?
G.
Yeah, that's right. See, that's what I mean when I say you do this manual tuning every day so that you get to where the 5th fret is instant. Okay.
Okay.
And then the other notes kind of fall into place. So if I ask you what note this is,
E, 6th string. E6.
The E string, 6th fret,
E string is 6th string. So that's right up there.
is, what's the 5th fret? What's the 5th fret?
5th fret is.
When we're tuning, remember,
You tune the first fret though. You tune the E string.
when we're tuning the rest of the strings to it, this is what note?
E. No. A.
That's right. So the 6th fret is
So the 6th fret would be A flat.
A.
Sharp.
That's right. Okay.
Down. Okay, down is up.
Now this is up, sharp. Up is sharp. Down is flat, like a flat tire. Down. Musically down. Yeah, sometimes I might say describe something physically down or up. When I'm talking musically, we're talking up, down, sharp, flat, sharp, like that. Okay?
So this is a flat.
That's right. Going down is flat.
Sharp.
Sharp. That's good. Okay, it's time to end.